Hello everybody! Well, it's that time of the day when one enjoys a nice cup of tea and it's time for me bowl. So, what's a lovely good brew that every now and then you make a really good brew and you don't do it any different than you do any other time, but when you take a slip, sometimes you get it, it's divine. So anyway, today we're on the deluxe, and we're smoking Clan with a mix of St. Bruno, because my St. Bruno was so dry I couldn't use it on its own. It was giving me a bad throat, so I just mixed it with the moistness of the Clan, made a combination of the two, and well, this is what we ended up with. And I've left my lighter on the other side of the road. Oh, hang on, oh, we're going old-fashioned, we're going traditional. So anyway, how are you all? Have you all had a good day? I hope the world is treating you well. Beautiful. Right, now, blimey, that's a smoky one. So anyway, teacher says to the class, now boys and girls, in our English lesson today, I'd like you all to give me a sentence which contains the word fascinate. Who wants to go first? So this little girl puts her hand up, she says, please miss. I like the way mathematics work, the way you get to the answer. I always think it's fascinating when, and the teacher goes, no, you're using fascinating. We want the word fascinate. So everyone's thinking in the class. The lad puts his hand up and says, I think it's fascinating when they watch the wildlife shows. No, the teacher says, no. You're using the word fascinate. Fascinating. You both are. We want the word fascinate. Little Johnny puts his hand up. And the teacher goes, okay, Johnny, what have you got to say? And Johnny says, my Auntie Sylvia's got massive tits. She's got 10 buttons on her blouse and she can only fascinate. Oh, thank you.
Try not to burn my nose. A bit later on the same day in the same class, teacher says, right, we're going to play a game. Let's see what your parents do and see if you can write it on the blackboard. So, little Sally, what does your mum do? She's a cleaner, miss. Can you spell it? Come on. So she gets up with a piece of chalk, blackboard. CLEANER. Very good. So she sits down. Billy. Billy. What does your dad do? He's a joiner, miss. Can you spell it? Yeah, gets a bit of chalk. He goes, JOINER. Very good, sits down. Mr. Timmy, what does your dad do? He's a sheet metal worker, Mum, teacher. It's this stuff. It's not even got whiskey in it. Sheet metal worker. So can you spell it? Gets a bit of chalk. He's on the blackboard. He's like SHIT. She goes, no, try again. There was a bit of SHIT. No, keep trying. Johnny, what does your dad do? He's a bookie, miss. He's a bookmaker. All right. He says, can you spell bookmaker? He says, no, but I'll give you 2 to 1 that Timmy writes shit on the blackboard.
So anyway, this bloke goes to the doctor's. He says, doctor, I've got a shocking infection on my chest. He says, well, take your top off, let's have a look. he takes his top off and his chest is covered in all these cuts, gouges and bruises and dirt, and it's gone septic and it's full of pus and it's really angry looking. And the doctor says to him, God almighty lad, what the hell have you been doing? And he says, well, I'm a shepherd up on the moors, and sometimes I get a bit lonely. And when you sit looking at the sheep all night for hours on end, you start thinking, you know, I wouldn't mind, you know. And the doctor says, so what are you doing? Have you been shagging the sheep? He says, yeah. Yeah. Well, have you managed to get cuts all over you? He says, well, when you lay them down, they tend to kick a bit and they catch you. And the doctor says, well, that's not normally. Whenever you hear people shagging sheep, they usually just take them from behind. He says, yeah, I heard that as well, but you can't get to kiss them that way. So anyway, this bloke goes into the pub, stands at the bar, orders a pint, and as he's drinking his pint, he's looking out the window. And he says to the bloke behind the bar, who's just that donkey out there in the field? And the barman says, that's mine. He says, all right. He says, if I can make that donkey laugh, can I have a free whiskey? And the landlord says, if you can make that donkey laugh, I'll give you 5 whiskies. He says, right. So he toodles off out to this donkey in the field, and the barman's watching him through the window, sorry. And the bloke starts talking to the donkey. Then all of a sudden this donkey starts laughing. So the bloke, yeah, exactly. So he walks back into the bar like that and says, well, there you go. He says, yeah, fair play, you won that one. So he lines him up 5 whiskies. He says, what will you give me if I can make it cry? And the landlord says, I'll stand you another 5 whiskies if you can make it cry. He says, right. So he goes out across the field. The landlord's watching him through the window. And he sees this bloke talking. Goes back to him, talking to the donkey. And then all of a sudden the donkey starts crying. So the bloke walks back into the bar and he says, there you are. So he lines him up his 5 whiskies. So he necks them back. And he says, right, how do you do it? How did you do it? He says, well, went out there and I says to him, I bet you, donkey, my dick's bigger than yours. And the donkey started laughing. He says, oh, how did you make it cry? He said, I showed him.
Terrible. Bloody terrible.
Oh, it's a bit rude. It's a bit rude.
That's a bit rude.
18's only.
18's only. Can't tell jokes like that anymore, can you? Mm-hmm. Eh? You'll be getting done by the Liberal police.
By the thought police.
Or the snowflake police. Any snowflakes watching?
Hey, it's a good job I'm not telling you about the Rolls Royce Club. That really is rude.
Rolls Royce Club?
Yeah. No, I can't. It's really bad though.
That was in that joke I said the other month, wasn't it? The Rolls Royce that he scratches the paint.
No, not that one. It's not that one.
I think I know which one it is actually. The guy, I know, I've heard it. He goes past, there's all these Rolls Royces parts in the car park. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And the attractive barmaid.
Yeah, and the attractive barmaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's the one. I don't know. I must apologise for any dodgy, sexist, or whatever it is. Male chauvinist, piggyish.
Not piggyish, it was a donkey, you idiot.
Oh. That's it, yeah. Doctor, what's that joke? Doctor, I keep thinking that a pig. How long you felt like that? About.
Oh no! Oh dear.
I think I told that one before.
No, yeah. These 3 lads stagger out of the pub, and as they get out of the pub, this car drives past, knocks one of them flying, lying dead on the road. Oh Christ! And now the police come along, and they say to him, the 2 survivors, they say, "Who's the lad that's on the road?" He says, "Well, we didn't know him very much. We only knew him from the pub." He says, "Well, do you know his name?" No, he says, we only know him for. He says, "Do you know anything about him?" He says, "Oh, he's from Ireland." He says, "Oh, well, that's a start." So he writes down, nationality Irish. He says, "Do you know anything else about him?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "Apparently he's got 2 arseholes." And he says, "How do you know that?" He says, "Because every time he comes in the pub, the the landlord always says. Always that Irish fella with the two arseholes.
That's the one, that's the one. Well, here we are on Smivel's farm, and we've just been feeding our donkeys. I wonder if they know that joke that Bob told. He's not laughing, is he?